Ah, good late morning.
Yes.
Good late morning.
Good, very late morning. Yes. Happy 11:11.
Oh, it
Yes.
is 11:11
Yeah.
a.m. on a Black Friday, November 27th.
Yes.
Welcome to another episode of Force for Growth Live.
Yeah.
And it's our Force for Growth fire sale.
Woohoo!
Yay!
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're going to be pitching. We got pitches and even more pitches for offers that are limited time only.
Yes.
These offers are only good for the duration of this podcast.
Yes. So you want to take advantage of them.
You want to take
Yes.
advantage. These are
Yes.
going to be legitimate, 100% bona fide offers that you cannot pass up on this Black Friday fire sale.
Yes.
Right, guys? Right?
Yes.
Right.
And if you're listening to the replay, you can only order during the replay.
Yeah.
Yes. That's it.
Yeah.
So this is
Very
very
important.
limited. Each of us have a pitch.
Mhm.
So here we go, Courtney.
Okay. So, are you struggling? Are you falling behind on your goals? Do you feel like you don't have what it takes? What if we could show you that you already have everything you need to make it happen? Well, for the low, low price of a subscribe and a like, we will give you all of our best tips at Force for Growth Live.
Boom.
There we go.
Limited time only. Limited time, guys. Limited time. You better go right now to forceforgrowth.com. Well, what? I'm looking at the ticker right now. We only have like 2 available. And 8 people watching. So you
10
better
people
get
watching.
there. 10
It's
people
going
watching.
quick.
And we only have 2. We only have 2 available. So you better go visit forceforgrowth.com, like and subscribe, listen to the podcast,
Wow.
because if you miss out on this special, it's done.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What you got, Martini?
Are your organs sitting in a dirty bathtub?
Oh,
Every function in our bodies takes place in water. Water removes toxins, has 0 calories, moves nutrients through your blood, moves oxygen through your blood, helps kidneys filter the bad stuff, helps with hunger, minimizes fatigue, speeds up metabolism. Bam.
Boom.
Helps convert fat to energy, helps with headaches, helps with brain fog. We lose 12 cups of water every single day.
wow.
2 through sweating, 6 through urine, 2 to 4 through just breathing, and 1 through the soles of your feet. Drink your water. For a free glass of water, dial 1-800-555-H2O exclamation mark. And if you can figure out how to dial that, you'll get a bonus extra free glass of water.
Operators are standing by. Right now, the Force for Growth fire sale, dial 1-800-555-H2O exclamation mark. Right now, 2 available, 11 people watching. Get on now.
Get your
Love
free
it.
glass of water.
Yeah.
Free, guys, free.
Can't top that.
Can't top that. All the benefits outweigh all of the. Yes, you don't want your organs
Yeah.
sitting in a nasty tub of liquid. No, you
No,
don't.
No.
You wouldn't sit your body down in a dirty bathtub. Why would you let your organs sit in a dirty bathtub?
One available,
Replenish
guys.
your water.
I'm watching now. I hear the phones ringing over here. They're ringing off the hook. The operators are standing by. Right now, we have 1 available. Someone actually figured out how to dial the exclamation point.
Oh my goodness. See?
They
The
get a
impossible
bonus.
itself.
One
That's why it's
available.
possible.
Yes.
Oh,
All
Ricardo,
right.
what do you got for us, Ricardo?
Okay. Are y'all tired of fiddle-faddling around? Are you tired of sitting around in your dark, lonely corner in your bedroom crying at night, in the morning, in mid-afternoon, because you just can't handle it anymore? Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Does this sound like you?
Tired of that?
Yes.
Do you need a shift in your life?
Yes, I do.
Yes. Limited time offer. Dial 555-555. No BS.
Boom.
Boom. 555.
So what do we-
Go ahead.
What do we get if we dial this number, Ricardo?
What do you get? You get a slap upside the head.
Awesome.
You get a
Sounds
wake up
effective.
call. You get a wake up call to get off your butt, get out there, and start doing stuff in the real world. 555-555, no BS. We just sold one. I just heard they sell. Someone just gave up their credit card number, and I haven't even given the price. So normally this package goes for $19.99, guys. $19.99. Wow. $1,999. But for today only, it's 99.9999% off.
Wow. Wow.
How could you pass that up?
You can't. Robert's not sure what it is and he wants it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you guys, usually these fly off the shelf for $19.99, $1,999. But today only, for the duration of this podcast, it's 99.99999% off for less than 1/10 of a cup of coffee a day, guys. Less than 1/10 of a coffee a day.
Yep. You can make all your BS go away.
Yes, we'll get you going. We'll set goals. We'll get you motivated. We'll get you pumped up. And guess what? I just got a special offer coming in.
Drum roll.
Yeah. Oh, this just came in. For a limited time, for the next 2 callers at 555-555, no BS, Robert will throw in how to run ultra marathons.
Yep, there you go.
Yes.
10 ultra marathons or 10 marathons in 10 days.
Yes. Yes, that's a special added bonus for the next 2 callers. And I'll have to talk to Robert about that because he did not know that he just offered that.
Yeah. We only got one more available.
We just got one more available. 555-555. No BS.
Ryan says it sounds like a great stocking stuffer.
It is. It is. You can't beat this, Ryan. Ryan, are you calling in? Hold on a second. Yep, that's Ryan on the phone right now. So he just bought one of everything, guys. He just bought the Courtney package, the Michelle package. We only have one of each. Black Friday fire sale, guys.
Nailed it.
Okay. For real. All jokes aside.
Yeah.
Y'all buy the BS.
No.
Don't buy the BS.
No.
What are y'all buying?
I'm buying experiences, just actual like connection with the human, screw all the material stuff. Like, we don't need that. We're done with that. It's not who we really are. So, and it's even interesting watching like the Black Friday hours different this year. Last year it was open on Thanksgiving. There's just a lot more respect for the holiday in that, no one was open yesterday.
I like that.
Evening, things like that. So it's like, it's more about experience. It's more about the real meaning of the holiday.
I forgot to mention that if you buy now, you'll get to join our exclusive Facebook group.
Yes.
Yeah. Buy any one of these offers and you can join our exclusive Facebook group.
Yes.
Super exclusive.
Super exclusive. There's no one in there. It doesn't even exist yet.
Yeah.
What do you buy into, Michelle Martini? What do you buy into?
What do I buy into? I'm going to say that today being Black Friday, don't buy it unless you need it. Like just because it's on sale or just because someone's throwing you a line of BS, don't buy it unless you need it, unless it's good for you, unless it's beneficial for you. Don't buy into the BS.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This because it's sold.
Correct. Yeah. This was a joke. This was actually a joke. 555-555, no BS. But that is right, Michelle. Don't buy into the BS. Mm-hmm. Don't buy just because someone tells you to buy. There's so much out there. There's so many people out there just hawking something. But how do you filter through the good and the bad and the ugly? How do you guys filter? Because I know we all see the ads. We are inundated with stuff.
No impulse buying. No impulse buying. Like sit on it for a minute because, then you don't have that what's it called when you buyer's remorse.
Buyer's remorse.
Buyer's remorse.
You
Yeah.
don't have buyer's remorse if you'll think about it first and not just buy on impulse. A physical or like something you purchase, but also BS, like if like what you hear, what goes into your mind, what comes into your ears, sit on it, see how it resonates before you just buy into it.
hmm And then another one that Michelle, you kind of touched on it earlier, but even if it's on sale and you're tempted to buy it, a good filter question is, would you buy this full price?
Ooh.
And I'm going to turn this into a metaphor because that's what Michelle did. And I think it's worthy of it. So yeah, basically if you're talking material items, if you run across something on sale and you're tempted to buy it, are you really buying it because you need it? Probably not. So would you pay for this item full price if it was not on sale? If the answer is no, walk away. You don't need it. But that's the same thing. So if something comes real cheap, like, I don't know, cheap gossip or cheap like opportunities where you skated the corners, things like that. If you jump after the cheap deal in life without paying the full price, really growing to that limit or going through the hard part to get to that outcome, it really will affect you. And what you're spending your money on isn't that worthy of value. And you're going to learn that the hard way. So
You get what you pay for,
You really do.
not
You really
just
do.
financially, but in life.
and
Yeah.
more than just money. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so you definitely get what you pay for. I think for me, it's don't believe the hype. Just because someone pumps up their own stuff on social media and they have a great and amazing social media campaign that they're doing this, they're doing that, they're doing this, they're doing that. They're changing lives, all these things that I'm seeing pop up, and it's starting to become a habitual pattern from what I experience. And I'm like, wow, okay. So if you're that busy and you're that successful, but you got time to post 15 times a day,
Yeah.
wait a second. Like,
Doesn't add up.
hold up. Hold up a second.
I like what Ryan said. It's like window shopping or returning to something a week later after thinking.
That's a great
Yes.
I like
point.
that.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I've had buyer's remorse several times. I've
Me
had
too.
buyer's remorse. Let's see here. Ryan is bringing it today. A personal exercise I'll do is say, okay, what would me 10 years in the future tell me now?
Yeah,
That's a fantastic exercise. Yeah.
that is.
I once had at a network marketing convention, somebody walked us through where you go talk to your 80-year-old self. So, multiple generation self, been through it all, survived it all, and you just sit down and have like an advice session with yourself. And that's the 10 years. I love that.
Yes.
So what does your 80-year-old self tell you, Courtney?
Just keep going. Just keep going, keep showing up. All the rest is BS. The clutter thoughts from other people or the, anxiety thoughts of, do I have what it takes to get here? I will pioneer a lot more than I even know about yet if I just keep showing up and keep going. And that is what's most important, is that I fulfill my legacy. Yeah.
Michelle, what does your 80-year-old tell yourself?
I would say you are enough and I look back almost really looking at my almost 50-year-old self now. What would I tell my 18-year-old self back then? And I wish so badly that I had the opportunity to tell that girl a lot. There's so many things. And so I think my 80-year-old self will have so much wisdom to share. But I think that you're enough. Like, stop with the self insecurities and, go out with confidence because we're enough. I think that for whatever we want to do, we can accomplish things. We can, like, when I was 18, there is no way I'd be on this podcast because I did not think I had anything good to say. I didn't think, I didn't have the confidence to be talking to people in public. I barely talked to the people. Thought I was stuck up but I was shy. I was not stuck up. I was shy. I didn't feel confident in opening my mouth. So I think that just have confidence and be you authentically.
That is interesting because the minute that you said that, it really resonated with me with the idea that people who I thought were stuck up, that they might actually be shy.
Yeah.
It never
Yeah.
occurred to me until you just said that. Like high
I was
school, even now at networking events, I just like,
Mhm.
oh, I think they're just being stuck up. But no,
Yeah.
they might actually just be shy.
that or
Well, even
insecure. Yeah.
yeah, it's same with bullies. It's same with there's a front for a reason. It might
Yeah.
not all be the same reason, but there's a front being put up for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I'm so thankful that you are putting it out there in the world, Michelle.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
goodness you got it.
No joke.
It's
Yeah.
it's a lot more fun living
Mhm.
this way than that way.
What you're
Yeah.
trying to tell me? You're trying to tell us it's a lot more fun to live your life.
Yeah.
Yay.
And be myself. To be
Yeah.
myself and not be insecure about that. It's so much more fun.
Yay.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
my 80-year-old self would tell myself not to stop worrying about other folks. Stop
Mhm.
worrying about other folks. Worry about yourself. Put yourself first.
Yeah.
And we all know the analogy of putting the face mask, no pun intended, face mask on yourself first, right? Before you help others, you got to help yourself and all that kind of good
Mhm.
stuff. But man, it is so hard to practice, and it's so hard to not put other people first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so hard not to worry about other people or to worry about what other people are doing and all these other things. And it's like, right. It's like, oh, okay, Ricardo, let that go. Let that go. The good thing is I got Jesse around to consistently remind me about that.
Mhm.
Let's see
Yeah.
here. Corey Hoffman.
Hey, Corey.
Insecurity has been a driving factor in most of my 54 years.
And see, okay, so what your 80-year-old self would tell you, Corey, what I would tell you, because I love you and I think you're amazing and you've got so much to offer. And so to me, I look at you and I'm like, there's absolutely zero reason to be insecure. And that's how so much, most of us are. We have our insecurities, but there's no need for them because, like Corey, I don't think she should ever be insecure because she's an amazing person. I love her so much.
That's interesting how we see other people compared to how they see themselves. We
Mhm.
always look for the
Yes.
best in people and see the best in them. And even I'll take it one step further. We go out of our way to see the best future selves of them before they see it in themselves.
Yes.
Yeah. And can I ask a question? Okay. So this is more kind of turning that inwards, but okay. So this is just a question to think on, not necessarily one to answer, but to anyone listening, if you can think back to when you were first rejected, your first memory of being rejected and as a child, and maybe it was an older sibling saying, stop singing, you can't sing, or stop drawing, you aren't a good painter, I'm better than you, or whatever. Think children conversation. The first time you were ever rejected, hold that moment. Now think of what your adult insecurities are now.
Hmm.
And what you're going to see is they're directly related, most likely. There are exceptions to every rule. But just think on that or journal on it, or, you don't even have to write anything down. Just sit down for 5 minutes and think on it in a quiet space, But if you can look that in the eye, you will very quickly dissolve it, very rapidly dissolve those insecurities for the rest of your life because you found the root. But that's a very common thing that I think we led a meditation once through that. But yeah, just first moment you felt rejected as a child, current insecurities. They're probably the same thing.
Most likely. And don't forget, you can dial 555-555, no BS, to let go of all these insecurities. Oh, man.
555-555, no BS. I'm going to think that in my head all the time now whenever I'm like complaining about something.
We got to
Like,
write a
okay,
jingle
Courtney.
for it. No,
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's really important. One of the things that we haven't really touched base on this podcast that it's important to mention is that there are people out there that are looking to take advantage of you. They
Mhm.
want to take advantage of your weaker self and try to sell you something. Fake empowerment is what I'm referring to. Fake empowerment, where they want to guarantee, well, I'll guarantee you 110% that if you come with me, that will change your life forever.
Mhm.
I'm not sure about all that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure
We're
about all that.
capitalizing on the insecurity. It's really gross, but when we look at how often it's done in marketing, we got to be real with ourselves. We've probably all done it. We've probably all had a moment where we slipped in
Oh,
that.
yeah.
But just the whole capitalizing on people's insecurities. We got to
Yeah.
stop. We got to stop. There's better
And this
ways,
is
more
where
effective.
knowing yourself comes into play. To know yourself enough, like, hold on, wait a second. Is what this person trying to tell me true or not true?
Yeah. Discernment.
Correct.
Yep.
Correct.
One of my favorite topics.
There's
because-
nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with improving yourself and wanting to improve yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. And we totally support that 120%. That's why we're here. However, you don't have to buy into everything that someone tells you.
Yeah. And you feel it. If it square peg in a round hole, all my, you feel it. Like if it's BS, you feel it. And
Yeah.
so at least you don't have to immediately walk away or turn your back to whatever it is. But when you feel that uncomfortable feeling, pay attention to that and give it a minute and figure out why. Because
Yes.
most likely that means you need to pivot, at least for right now.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I like what you just said, Michelle, that you need to pivot at least for right now. We're not saying
Yeah.
pivot forever. And all it takes is that one little moment to pivot, to decide, like, wait a minute, this might not actually be right for me. Let me step
And
back and not believe this person for everything that they're telling me.
And then when you pivot, it feels good when it's right. So you just got to pay attention. You
Yeah.
know when it's wrong, and then you know when it's right. And that is like not the right time. Like I have an example of something last week that there's something that I really want to do in my business or geared toward my business, but right now is not the right time. I think it's amazing and wonderful, and I'm really excited about doing it down the road, but I'm not ready. And so at first I was going to move forward with it, but then it's like, no, it's not the right time. So it's not that it's wrong. It's just not right now.
So how
Mhm.
did that feel, Michelle, when you finally made that decision?
It felt so good. It was like relief. Like instantly I knew, okay, this is the right decision
Yeah.
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
you feel relief, you feel good, you feel peace. Peace is the key word.
Yeah.
Versus
Or
the other
freedom,
option of
yeah.
forcing yourself to do it when it might not be right for you.
Which
Right.
when you take that step in that direction, you'll feel more restrained and more locked
Yes.
in versus at peace or free or
Mhm.
whatever feeling that is lighter, not heavier.
Right.
So
What
let
fills
me
you
ask
up,
you,
what drains you.
Michelle, were you immediately okay with that decision, or did it take you a little bit of time to come to that realization and be okay with letting it go?
Well, it took a thinking it through, pros and cons, walking through, like I know it's a great idea. I know it's a great thing and it's got huge potential. So I'm like, I want to do it. But walking through, okay, there was some uneasiness, which that's what I've learned. That discernment piece is whenever that uneasiness exists, there's a reason. So you got to sit in that for a minute and figure out why do I feel uneasy about it? Even though I know it's great, why do I feel uneasy about it? And you just have to give it a minute. So it took a little bit of time to walk through the uneasiness and figure out where it was coming from. But the second that I made the decision to pivot, I felt instant peace about it. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's the right decision to make for right now.
I think that is so important right now because in the world of self-development, we always talk about taking massive action. We always talk about pushing ourselves to do whatever it is
Mhm.
that's uncomfortable. But to take a moment and step back and say, hey, wait a second. Right now, I want to do this, but right now may not be the best time.
Right.
That's
You know-
super important. You don't have to push yourself. You don't have to push yourself to do something that you don't really want to. That's not what self-development and growth is about.
Right.
Yeah. And to just give a tool that y'all taught me, but try it on like a pair of pants. So when you are sitting and you don't know, well, there's a few techniques. So the 7 layers deep, or try it on like a pair of pants, but hear me out. So basically when you have 2 choices and you're not sure, okay, so 7 layers deep, that you write your goal. And there are a lot of great speakers that if you just Google that, they have exercise online, but you would write your goal. Okay, well, why do I want that? And then put why. And then, okay, well, why do I want that? And you're doing 7 layers deep. And so you see, I don't know, a decade down the road, if you were to go after this and the true why you're doing it or what's driving it. And then you're going to get a clear feeling by the time you're finished it, or you're not going to finish the exercise because kind of halfway through, you already know this isn't the right decision. The other more lighthearted way try it on like a pair of pants. Literally put on the idea, walk around with it for a day, try it out, whatever, or just sit with yourself and meditate 5 years into the future if you went that route. And your higher self will tell you the answer. Like your heart
Yes.
knows. You just have to give yourself time to ask it.
Then you don't have buyer's remorse
Right?
Correct.
because
And
you
I-
give yourself time.
Yes.
because I do not believe in doing something just because some flashy person sells you into it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not a good reason to do it. That's
Mhm.
absolutely not a good reason to do something. Then that's why I love the try on your pants analogy, because you would not stay in a pair of pants for more than 30 seconds.
Yeah. Like, those don't fit, but we look at all analogy we force, oh, we can let this part out. Well, I can wear it with that top that covers that it's tight right here. We have all these justification thoughts. Well, red flag, if you're justifying it, your heart's already telling you it's not the best solution.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not for you. And it's
Yeah.
okay. It's brave to step up and take massive action and get out of your comfort zone, but it's also brave to say, hey, not today.
Yeah.
Maybe sometime in the future.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which, Michelle, when you gave time and space to it and actually planned it and found that future you would have a better opportunity, or the opportunity would be better off doing it later, did you feel like you were making progress towards your goal, or did you feel stagnant?
Progress toward the goal of doing it.
Like, yeah.
Of
So like, did
doing
you
that.
get a good feeling by having that realization you need to do it later? Or did you get a bad feeling like you're procrastinating or something like that?
No, a great feeling for two reasons. One, because if I did it right now, it would create a distraction from what I'm trying to accomplish right now. So it would move me away from the goals that I'm trying to accomplish right now. It would just be a distraction. And then two, it's going to be so much more successful down the road when it's the right time to do it, because I'm going to be ready. I'm going to have the resources that I need to do it and do it well, instead of trying to rush through it and square peg in a round hole. So both of those, like, it's going to give me success right now, and not take away from my success right now, but it's also going to give me greater success when I do that, because I'll be ready for it at that point.
See,
So
that's amazing. And can I just throw in real quick? Like, it's the analogy of there's seasons for everything, right? Like, that's what I'm hearing, because like we wouldn't plant our garden in the winter, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, just look at how you're going about it.
So here's the thing. Here's the caveat. I'm going to throw in an exception. I love what we're talking about. I love that you stepped back and not did it. However, because you are hanging out with us, we know you very well. Me and Courtney have a great comfort level with you. If we notice from outsiders looking at you that this was a habitual pattern, we would stop you and say, wait a second, Michelle. This is like the third thing in a row that you've backed up from and decided not to move forward with. And then we would have that conversation with you.
Yeah.
We would have that conversation. If this turns into a habitual pattern where you're just consistently backing off of everything and putting it under the umbrella, not right now, we would have that difficult conversation with you.
Mhm.
Yes.
And the reason why is because it would probably go back to an insecurity from early on in her life.
Correct.
Yeah, basically there's a root we need to get at. So yeah.
Correct. But I mean, if it's a one and every once in a while, okay, but then you're doing other things that are moving you towards your goal. We know what your goal is, and we don't have to talk about that here publicly, but we know what your goal is. And if you just back off on something every once in a while, you're like, okay, this is not good, but I'm going to take these other 3 steps forward. And then maybe you might run into another thing where you're like, okay, well, I'm not going to do that one yet. But however, if it was just one thing after another, we would tell you, we would be like, Michelle, hold on a second. This is the third time that you've backed up off of something. What's going on?
Yeah. And that's a huge reason why you're 5 people you spend the most time with, or, that whole concept of who you're surrounding yourself with is so important, because that's, you guys will call me out on it. And, 2.5 years ago, before I didn't have very many people in my life that would recognize those tendencies. So you got to be around people that will do that, where their intentions are good for you and not bad for you, and not manipulative.
Correct.
I think that last one, not manipulative too. Like, you got to have that trust with your people.
And so just as important as it is to not buy other people's BS, it's also just as important not to buy your own BS.
Yes. Maybe
And-
more so.
I was about to say
Yeah.
that's the king right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, because we will write a convincing script for that in our
We
brains,
will.
you know? Oh,
we will.
and we know
will.
exactly how to make ourselves tick. So
Correct. So it's important to be around people and surround yourself with people that will not allow you to buy other people's BS and, more importantly, your own BS.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because Michelle, I mean, let's just face it. For either of us and anyone listening, it could be just as easy for us to continually be like, "Oh, right now it's not the right time," and then have
Yeah.
another idea. Right now it's not the right time. Oh, have
Mhm.
another great idea, but right now it's the right time. Okay, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Now you're buying into your own BS. So it's important
Yes.
to be around these people that do not allow you to buy your own BS and not allow to buy the BS of other people.
yeah.
For
Which-
sure.
If you are struggling with that right now, like if listening this and you are like, oh, I have a pattern to put things off, that was me. And it still is me. I'm not going to lie. Like I still have to work through this. So in this time frame, it's more important to do something than just about anything being right or wrong. So if you are stuck in a stagnant, perfection is the greatest excuse for the greatest hidden reason for procrastination ever invented. We just can't see it. So if you're that perfectionist, it's like, oh, when this is ready, I'll do this. When this is ready, just stop it. Do something. Do something. Even if it's in the complete opposite direction of your goal, do something. Something positive.
Yeah.
Anyway, move the needle in the right direction. But yeah, just get up and do something and practice getting up and doing, because that's what's going to break your pattern. So that's why it's okay to just kind of veer off your goal for a while, just to do. Be the
Correct.
doing person. Then you can go back to the planning person, because now you know you can do it. So just
Correct. It's
Yeah.
okay. The key there is what? Have a good group around you, people
Yeah.
that know you.
Mhm.
And that requires you to get vulnerable with your friends and the people who are going to support you. Because if we didn't have that kind of relationship with Michelle, we wouldn't feel comfortable having that conversation.
that's true.
Whew.
Man. Okay.
What an awesome fire sale.
Yeah,
know,
that's what I
right?
did today. I like that. Okay.
Sold some fire.
I know, right? 555-555, no BS.
Yes. Yes.
So call the hotline so you don't buy other people's BS. And more importantly, so you don't buy your own.
yes.
And drink your water and flush out all the stuff you pumped into your body yesterday.
One
Yeah.
left. We have one left. 2 people actually figured out how to dial the exclamation point. So we have one left. 800-555-H2O exclamation point.
Oh, y'all crack me up. Oh,
Whew,
man.
this was good, guys. This was so much fun. The first
fun.
annual First for Girls fire sale.
Yes. So, thank you, everybody. And
We'll be back on
bring your
Monday.
cooking time. See you Monday.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.